So this video is just going to be on how we will be able to take the images from the cloud and have them worked on, as in make sure that they have to be on the white background, and then we can upload them, as in treat the images. We can treat the images to make sure that they look proper on the website, but then the raw images that will be given would look. Let's go to gemstones. Let's do product gemstone type and we load all code. Now our aim is to make sure that we take the raw images and be able to treat them to look like these. Right? Look, we'll take them, put them on a on a white background. It's actually white, but then the reason is that the theme actually treats the image on gray to make sure they all look nice on the collection page. So here, what we are going to do is to be able to give GPT this image, and then we'll have GPT be able to produce the image in on the white background. And then we also have to treat all the other images to make sure they are top quality as well. As you can see, we can zoom in and see the position of the inclusions, the certificates as well. And then yes, so that's what we are going to do in this video. So first we'd have to come back into our cloud. It's important to note and understand that most of the images that will be given would not be properly aligned, as in you can see something like this. The image doesn't really look very good as we would expect it to look. Like you can see, it's a bit blur, but then that is why we have to make sure that we treat the images to make sure that they come out as perfect as possible. So we will start with only the gemstones. Now the first thing we are going to do is to make sure that um, we have selected the stone we are going to work on. It's important to note that if the lock is here, that means that this product has been set to private. It's always important to check. All right, you have to set it to private. After we've worked on it, then we can set it to public. Right now, in this very video, the only thing we are going to do is to be able to give GPT the prompt to be able to process this image from this background, right, to look something like what we have here. And that's all we are going to do in this single video. And then the next video will cover how to process each and every single image properly. The next one is we are going to start generating our own certificates to add that to it. And then the next thing is we'll go into the copy content and then how to upload the products back onto the cloud. So I'm going to, do I have to list them out? Okay, but then yes, that will be it for just this video. So let's start. So the first thing we are going to do is to come into our Notion file. Now in the Notion file, we have a loose gemstone retouch prompt that can be found inside the same file in the image production generation file. So you scroll at the bottom and then you have loose gemstone retouch. If you scroll down again, we get to the certificate, but in this video, all we are going to do is to be very specific on retouching the images to get them properly done on the white background. So what we're going to do is just going to copy, as usual, we are going to copy the prompt, come to a new GPT, prompt, send it in, and then let it understand. I always choose high, sometimes medium, depending on how fast the internet is or what peak position time frame you are on. So then it will try to understand what we have to do, blah, blah, blah. Now, I'll go through in slowly so that you can understand, because there are different situations of which the images might come in. For example, this imperial topaz is on a tray, right? Now, there are instances where it might be in the hand or in the tweezers. What are tweezers? Tweezers are what are used to hold gemstones. So you have these two metallic things that is used to hold the gemstone. Boy, I can't find. But then yes, it might be on a plastic tray or there on some water mat. So what it's going to do is going to remove all these things, try to clean it, and then put it on a white background. So we are going to start with the last imperial topaz that we selected. I'm sorry, my internet is very slow today. But then, yes, so what we have to do is to make sure we select a very good angle. We can't just get up and then give it anything because we want the best results possible because we want to sell. We want to make sure that the image comes out as perfect as possible. What we don't want to do is to make sure that when we give the image to GPT, it actually changes the color of the stone. And this is criminal because we do not want to sell a stone that is different because we don't want stones to be coming out back to us as refunds or returns. So now that we are done, normally what we do is just copy and paste, or I would advise that you download the image so that you can have the best quality possible. Now with that, I will just send it to it because I don't want to waste time. I want to try and make sure that this video is as quick as possible and easy to follow. So now we'll give it some time for it to process. We hope that it doesn't take too much time. And then we would move on to the next thing. So while we are waiting for it to process, we would go into Canva, right? What we are going to do is that we know that each and every image needs to be 1,600 by 2,000 pixels. This is very, very important. I think it's somewhere here to make sure that the quality is good. We are still going to stick with these the lines from the top. So I'm going to just copy this. Okay. So I think it's actually done. So then if it's done, there we have it. But you realize there's an issue here, right? Because it looks a little bit wide. It's good, it's good, it's very good. But then the problem is that it looks unproportional. It's because of the angle that we give it. This is very proportional. So what I would do is that I would come and pick another angle because it's really a perfect proportional stone. This is what we give it. Uh, it's not that unproportional. When I say proportional, it should be a perfect emerald cut. It's not that wide on the side. Uh, hmm, let's try this. And then if that error happens again, what I would do is that I would tell it that this is it's an emerald cut and all the proportions are correct. It could be from the angle at which the image was shot. So maybe that is why it's given us that. But without that, we do have a perfect retouched image, though. We can work on that, right? Now, with emerald cuts, if you look on our website, I always advise that you take a look at the current shape that is available. Most of all our images are not flat, they are straight, they stand like an oval, they're all standing. That is how we want our images to be like the theme. So we don't want them to be laying flat. You understand? Now, what we have, I want to find an emerald cut so that you can see the difference in what it has given us and what we actually have on the side. So you can see with these cushions, they are all standing straight, not flat, right? So yeah, with this, yeah, these are emerald cuts. You can see we have them standing straight. We don't have them laying down flat, although these cushions are flat. But then we want to keep them all standing straight because most of our users are on mobile. So we do need to make sure that we make sure the buying experience is as smooth as possible. While we wait for it, so with this, what I would advise is that if this was good, I would say please rotate this stone 90 degrees. Yes, something like that. I think I would try to tweak the prompt. You know what? Let me just let this thing finish. So we'll tweak the prompt to make sure that all the stones after the retouching, it's put in the right way so that you don't have to do any more work from that side. Yep. So that is it. So let's pretend that this is okay. We don't want to waste our time. Okay, let's pretend that this is okay, right? What we are going to do, I did copy, but I'll advise that you download, right? You have the full quality. And then we'll come into, you all have these guides, right? You have the templates for display images, and I insist that you please use them so that all the images come out at the same dimension, right? But this is what we want to do. We want the image, we want the stone to be standing straight. Now you can see the reflection is on the other side, right? This is just for, yeah, it has done it perfectly like this. But then, so, okay. So then I think I'll just copy and put this. Now give me this on the white background just as the SOP. Thank you. It has done that perfectly. So then when it gives us the output, what we will do is that we just have to put it in. And then what I would advise is that, what I would advise is that we must make sure that the photos are of top quality. Although it has given, I would advise upscale. The best images are easier to sell than the horrible images. So make sure you upscale. It's just going to take a couple of seconds. And then we are done. So after it upscale, I'm just pretending that it has given us a good output. Okay, so I'm not saying we're going to upload this. What we are going to do is to go and then pick the other angles, right? And then I'm copying. I would advise that you download. And what we are going to do is to increase the size to make sure that the dimensions are proportional because that is very important. And then what we are going to do is to upscale again. All right, and then I'll come again to the next image. We have to make sure that all angles have been treated. This is critical. After I put it in, because I'm increasing the size, is imperative or it's important to make sure that you upscale the image. If you do not upscale, you're only writing an application for us to lose money. So here I've downloaded it, and what I'm going to come here, I'm deleting this guy. And then I'll just drag this guy over and we have a perfect image. There we go. Looks like we would have to make this guy a little bit bigger because of the shape, right? Because of the shape. If we make it, we can make just a little bit, yeah. And then I'll upscale it. Upscale. These guys today, yeah, if you can tell the difference between an upscaled image and a non-upscaled image. Now I can do this with my eyes closed. That's why I say I advise that you make sure that you download the images so that you don't end up leaving some angles. All right, so this is the angle we haven't done. This is the angle. This angle has been done. Yes, and then I'm just going to upscale this body. We would never and ever change the color of the gemstone. Don't even think of adding brightness or darkness. No. All we are going to do is to just put it in and resize. There are instances where that the image that was given or was had will have a few dirty things on it. Then with that, but then there are very few instances. We'll just keep it like this for now, right? There we have it, clean, and we have our four images. Let me check. So video, video is one. Next we have one, two, and three, and four. So this is the angle I think we haven't done. Have we done that? We have that here. Let me see. Is that the same? So there's an angle that is not there. So that is why I advise you to just download it. But then we just pretend that we are done. I don't want to make this video long at all. So we would, because the reason why we don't want to leave any angle is that each angle shows a different characteristics of the stone depending on where the light is hitting the stone. So we cannot leave any of them undone. That is criminal again. So what we've done is that after you're done, we are just going to leave that there, and then we will download our PNG, and then they'll be ready for upload. Before that, there's something that we are not done, and that will be done in the next video. That is to process the certificate of the, or we just do that together. Let's just do that. Now, what we'll be doing right now is that we want to make sure that each and every gemstone would come in with another sorority certificate, because this is a requirement now we have to do. There are two ways of doing this. Number one, open a new chat, okay? And then you are going to give the prompt. We are going to go back into our loose gemstone here and click certificate. Copy all the prompt all the way down to the bottom. Copy the prompt, give it to GPT. And then the next thing we are going to do is to actually give the certificate design to GPT. Now, what I have done is that I actually added that into the file and it's not here. Interesting. All right, editable. This is the file. I have it here, right? This is the PDF. So what I'm going to do is that I would leave it in the chat as well. I'll leave it here as well. And then we would load both to it. Now, with the certificate, we would need to feed information to it. Now, the information will be based on your content when you're doing your product description, etc., etc., etc. Now, if we are doing that, we can actually give it in, right? So here we can just copy all of this and give it to it. What we should have done first was to build the bot, but then let's just give it to it and see what it will say. There's something that we didn't give. We should have given it the image of the stone. Please provide report number and photography. Perfect. This is what I was waiting for. So we are going to go here, back into a GPT, copy, paste, and give it to it. Now that we are waiting for GPT to report number is, so the report number is basically going to be the SKU. So we can just say randomly generate for now. So I would have to correct that report number because we don't want any repetitions. Report number is going to be the SKU. So we say report number is equal to, I just do RTK something something, right? So that's the image of the stone, and then we'll give that to it. So now that we are done, we've given that to it, we will just have to wait for it to give up all the information. Now, while it might help us in the long term, I don't trust ChatGPT because the last thing we want to do is to make a mistake on the certificate. So in the case where it doesn't give you the right information, we've created a backup, right, on Canva for everybody to access, where you can insert the photo yourself. So like this, instead of I'll just insert the photo myself, I'll just delete this template area, and then loose gemstone certificate number. We can just tweak that a bit. That is a loose gemstones, and then we have number of stones examined, 1, topaz, imperial topaz, carat weight 11 point this. Well, carat weight here is what is our carat weight? Realize that we didn't add the carat weight. Why? Carat weight is 6.5. Okay, it's here. I didn't see it. So carat weight becomes 6.5 CT. Dimension is this. Dimension is this. Rectangular emerald cut. So here, so it is done. So let's click and see. Now you can see that already we have issues, right? So it looks like this thing is not as perfect as we thought. So I think we're still better if we stick to the Canva version. Yes, let's just stick to the Canva version. So here, brilliant cut, rectangular cushion. No, this is emerald cut. Clarity, yes. Is VVS heated? Yes, and then we'll leave that. So then this becomes our certificate of which we will download as well. So we would have certificate, and then we have the stone images here. So I think in this video we have actually covered all of them. The next thing we'll cover would be the video editing part. Super easy. Super easy. So it looks like we've actually covered everything inside this video. Finally, I think I managed to get the video done. So then all would go to the website. So I'm just going to yeah, that'll be it. That's basically it. That's basically it. In the next video, I think what we are going to do will be to update the content. We are going to generate the content depending on that specific stone, and then how to update back, because now we've treated these images, we do need to update this as well. So we'll do edit, blah 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 blah.